I've worked in many places. I think it's the only one where you can actually say, yes, you are part of the family, and yes, your voice, people listen, and this is why the business is so strong. And I think this is why today the Waterside is still where it is, because this has been going on for years and years.
Welcome to the show. This is Chris, your host. Today we have a special guest. His name is Michael Nizzero. Michael is originally from Brussels in Belgium. He has a very interesting journey as a chef. He was the youngest chef to receive a 1 Michelin star when he was 23 or 24 years old in France. Michael has worked in many places, many interesting places. He has been the sous chef at the Waterside Inn in the UK for many years as well, under the guidance of Michel and Alain Roux. Now Michael is the instructor chef at the newly created Waterside Inn cookery school in the UK. We speak to Michael for about an hour, just over an hour, and we get to understand a little bit the mind behind the chef, understand how he managed to stay on top of the game, how he's accomplished so much, and what he sees for the future for himself and for the restaurant industry. So please, let's welcome Michael. Welcome to the Moncler podcast. Today we have a special guest. We have Michael Nizzero. Michael, how are you today?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks for having me.
That's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Thank you so much. I'm sure you're very busy. So, Michael, we're gonna dive straight into it. So you've been a chef all of your life, I believe so. Today you are the chef instructor at the Waterside Inn in the UK. Can you tell us a little bit about that, about what the Waterside Inn is and what is your role today?
So the Waterside Inn Bray is an institution, really. It's a 3 Michelin star owned by Alain Roux, son of Michel's, who opened the Waterside Inn. So Mr. Michel opened the Waterside Inn back in the 80s, and the rest is history. Really, is one of the emblematic restaurants for French cuisine in the world. It's 3 Michelin star, and I've joined back now the family since 3 years.
Yeah, 3 years. So 3 Michelin star for, I believe, what is it, over 30 years, right?
Well, it's, if all goes well, next year is 40 years 3 Michelin star.
Incredible. I don't think there is many in the world that have held the Michelin star for that long, right?
No, so it's third oldest. The 2 oldest are in France, and third oldest is the Waterside Inn. Yeah.
Wow, incredible. Well, I'm sure that's a lot of pressure as well to run the kitchen and to assist with all the operations. Michael, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Waterside, or at least the kitchen, went through some update recently and some improvements, and I believe you guys have launched as well a cooking school.
That's correct, yes. So basically, always moving forward, Chef Alain Roux took over Mr. Michel in early 2000s, and then Mr. Michel passed in 2020. And since then, I've joined back, and one of the main projects I've joined back for is to develop the new culinary restaurant that we just opened. It's basically located just behind the Waterside Inn, where Mr. Michel Roux Senior used to live. So it's his own house. Basically, the idea was what Chef Alain could do with his late father's house. And he saw that the only thing he could do with that is carry on the legacy of the Roux family and what they've done for the culinary world, mainly in Great Britain, obviously. And basically now, it was a 2-year long project that we just opened September last year. There's a beautiful library with more than 1,000 references from Mr. Michel Roux private collection and Chef Alain private collection. Some books I've signed, Some books are from late 1800, early 1900s, cooking books and so on. So it's very, very special. And then obviously that's the first part of it, the library, where all our chefs from the Waterside Inn, but also from our brasserie, we're at Kindles, they can come and get inspired in that area, in the library. And then we get 6 in the other side of the house. We get 6 cooking stations now, and the demo area where we run classes, where we run training for our staff member, and we run classes for professional chefs, but also for passionate customer of ours or people who love cooking and want to up their skill in cooking. So this is why I've joined back. Definitely, it's been a great project and it's doing very, very well. We're also into filming some masterclass that will be out there soon. So with chef and myself, we taking on the really French classic. We feel like if the next generation of chef really wants to learn how the French classic should be done, well, the Roof name is known for that. So this is another project. So many things going on in the school and outside the school. I'm lucky enough also to support chefs on all different projects outside of the Waterside Inn. If it's the brasserie Red Kindles, but also some other project worldwide. We're going to Colombia in August for Sofitel 60th anniversary of Sofitel. So we're doing 3 events there. So that will be exciting. But my main job is the focus is the scone and carry on the Roux family, the Roux legacy, as you know, back then when we were working there. We're lucky enough to work and know Mr. Michel. You and me, we went to also some trip in Singapore and so on. So it was quite close to my heart. So when Chef Alain contacted me, we had a chat. I wanted to move on too. I thought, it's no brainer for me to join back the family.
Yeah, it's an incredible experience, and I'm sure you have been very flattered to be offered this position, which you deserve because you have been working very hard for very long. Before the Waterside, Michael, can you briefly explain your journey through the chef life? Because I think you started in Brussels, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's correct. So originally from Brussels, grew up. My father is Italian. My mother's from Belgium. Grew up in Brussels. My dad was in the business, working in a big hotel. This is why probably I started when I was 16. Then I did my apprenticeship in a 3-star Michelin restaurant called Jean-Pierre Bruno back then in Brussels. And then I came to London after my 3 years there. I came to London. I was 19 or 20 years old, and I worked for a chef called Pascal Proyard. He used to run a seafood restaurant 101 in Knightsbridge. And he used to run a 2-star place before in Brussels. So this I end up there, Belgian connection. There is such a thing of Belgian connections. And
there is.
I worked there for 2 years. Then I worked in Dubai, and where we opened a seafood restaurant for a brand new hotel. We opened Medina Jumeirah and Pisces with my best friend back then. And this is where I met Michel Roussinho. He basically came to do a week food promotion in that restaurant. That was back in 2006, I believe. Yeah, 2006. And we had a really, really good work relationship. He was really pleased. And so then he invited me to join the Waterside Inn back in 2007. So this is where the Alain Roux, Michel Roux journey started. This is where you and me, Christian, we worked together back then 2007 at the Waterside Inn. I was sous chef there, and then I stayed there for 4 years until 2011. And then I was lucky enough back then to take on also helping Mr. Roussinho, Mr. Michel on different food promotions. I think in 4 years altogether, I must have done between 20 and 25 food promotions with him. From Australia to Paris to Hong Kong to Singapore.
Just sorry to interrupt, Michael, but just for everyone to understand what a food promotion is basically you take over a kitchen anywhere in the world and you bring yourself and Michel Roux into the kitchen and you just produce
Yeah,
the
exactly.
food and the
It's
menu.
like now they call this a pop-up restaurant a little bit
Yeah.
now. So you go in there, you do a pop-up restaurant, you do your own restaurant, Mr. Roof's food into a different country, mainly for marketing, and so people learn about the Waterside Inn worldwide.
Hmm.
And it's good publicity for the hotel who brings the chef in, really. So that
Yes.
was, we would do few per years. And then after that, since 2011, I left and I joined as the executive head chef. I took up a kitchen in Relais Chateau in the Champagne region. The owner was Mr. Michel Roux's friend. So I took over the kitchen there and we got Michelin star in 1 year. So that was a massive achievement.
Wow.
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
gone through hell, to be honest. It wasn't easy. You dream of.
And not to be too modest here, Michael, but I believe you were the youngest chef in France to get a Michelin star at that time, right?
Yeah, that's it. I was 28, I think. So yeah,
Which
28
is
year old.
incredible because you know how much pressure, and we both know that it's a very hard job, and the consistency is the key in this in obtaining this result. So yeah,
In
that was a
CrossFit,
massive achievement.
the team, everything, it was a really tough year for me, if not the worst, I think, in my career, to be honest, because you really want to focus and achieve so much thing, you just forget everything else. So for a year, I must have taken 10 days off in 1 year, no holiday, nothing. That was the
Yeah.
goal. We got obviously a few visits from the guide, and yeah, they gave us a star after a year, which was great. So 2012, Michelin Guide France, and then I stayed there until 2015. So we got the star until 2015 when I left. So that was great achievement. And then it was great to work in the French wine making region, in Champagne region, knowing all the different winemaker and their passion for wine and so on. So it was great experience. And my wife being from the UK, we decided, obviously we were expecting our first daughter to come back to the UK. And then I joined the Ritz in London in 2015. When I was first sous chef of John Williams, so I have a team of sous chef. I was running the team of sous chef. We was first sous chef there, and then we got one Michelin star also there in 2017, guys. So 2 years later, it was the first time of the Ritz history that they ever achieved a Michelin star. So that was together with John Williams and the team, obviously, big team there. And a great experience again as an hotel, but I was getting a little bit tired of the London life, to be honest, with a small child, as you know, is tricky, a newborn.
Yeah.
So we decided to move to Bath at the Bath Brewery, and there I was executive chef for 3 years and so on. Yeah, great there. Didn't manage to achieve a Michelin star, but we achieved other great things. It was also very challenging. But I definitely set a little bit more into family life. We got a second child, so there is, time for everything.
Yeah.
And so then Minus Chefs now lately in 2021 asked me to join back. Then for me, it was great because I still get to do what I love. I get to share my passion for food. I get to, enjoy cooking. And I get much more flexibility also for
Yeah.
the family, which is great. Yeah.
Yeah, because it is a profession that everyone knows that you have to spend hours and hours and days into the kitchen, and the balance between your life, your personal life, and your professional life is never easy. So do you feel like today you have more time for your family and you have more time to be present as a father and as a husband?
Yeah, obviously there's still the time and weeks, where I'm a little bit more busy than other, but I think overall, it's not just about being there physically, but also there mentally. When you run a kitchen every day, all day, and you have staff to manage and menu to change, and it's a lot, and it's very tricky just to switch off and focus on the family. So I think not only I get to spend more time with them, but psychologically I'm also more present, because this job, and when you want anything, I think when you want to achieve high success, at some point something's got to pay off. So you got to sacrifice something. So especially in the
Yeah.
kitchen world, you you have to be surrounded by people you trust. But at the end of the day, you have to be there, to run the place. So
Yeah. Yeah. And how do you take care of yourself working in a kitchen? Because as you know, like all the attention, all the focus is on the food, but um, what do you do for to help yourself to just stay on top of things? Because obviously you are often on top of things, and you are a high achiever. What do you do to maintain that?
well, structure is very important. I think I try to plan my day as much as possible, uh, and try to delegate to people, empower people is quite important. I would say over my career. Uh, Try to inspire people, be there, and lead by example. I really struggle not to be present uh, um, and show people how it's done, and try to inspire them. And I think that's the main thing. If you have a good plan and you are organized well, and you have less chance to fail. I think the main thing is to be ready and be organized, and then all your team know what to do, when, and what to expect. Really, the more I always take it like a little bit like when you go on the battlefield. You have your generals, you have your soldier, and you need to,
Hmm.
especially in the kitchen when you have 12 chefs, 20 chefs. Everyone's got their own roles. Everyone needs to know what their job is, and everyone's got to stick to their job, and then the big plan will come together somehow. So,
Yeah.
organization and and making sure everyone knows what they're doing and are respected in their own role. That's the important thing. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that makes you succeed in kitchen. Yeah.
Yeah. No, for sure. The focus is intense. Do you manage to switch off when you go home after these long days?
Yeah, it's tricky, especially these days with phones and everything, emails, and also there's always something going on. Especially in my job, it's not like this. The positive is I can be at home more. I have more, if you want, more flexibility. However, my job kind of never stops in a way because there's always requests. Maybe there's some customer or chef need something or something different because I'm kind of involved in all different side of the business, from the online shop to even a little bit social media, the school, obviously, which is my main thing, to order promotion or anything else that chef needs hand with. It kind of sometimes it's tricky just to switch off. But yeah, I do manage anyway more than before. I think the main thing is, yeah, to try to just leave the phone out at home and
Yes.
go out with the kids and do
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think no matter what you do, no matter if you work in a kitchen or if you work as a leading position, when you're home, it's quite important to know when
yeah.
it's time to be with your family and be present. It's so easy to be distracted. So you're pretty much the ambassador for the Waterside Inn now, or for the Roux, Alain Roux and Michel Roux kitchen or cuisine.
No, no, I'm the ambassador. I mean, I get two head chef who are doing great job at the Waterside
Yeah,
Inn, and the reason why, we still have three-star Michelin, obviously Chef Alain, and why is this what I think I am? I would just, help where needed. I run the school. I want to be very humble there. I'm not, I'm just like, helping out where needed, supporting chef in different to try to take pressure off him when he needs
yeah,
it, and and that's my role really, and make sure the school is a success. Make sure whoever comes to our classes, they have a unique experience of the Waterside Inn. I think I've been lucky to know the family for a long time and work with Mr. Michel. And what I want is when the customer comes to the school, they really have just more than a cooking class. So they come here with us, we have a little speech about the Roux family in the library when we start the day. Then they go into the kitchen, they sit down around the demonstration area, they have coffee and croissant and stuff. Then they look at the demo and then they go into their own station and they get to cook what they've seen. And then we have a beautiful garden where they can walk around. They get a kitchen too of the Waterside Inn, a professional kitchen. They get to eat in the true Michelin star restaurant for some of our packages too. So people come to us, they really have sparkle in their eyes and they have smile on their face, when they leave, because it's a unique experience for them. And I think this is what we are about. If it's in the restaurant, the service side, as you know, is very, very strong. At the Waterside Inn, it's always been a lot of dishes are prepared in front of the customer still, which is very rare these days. Obviously, the kitchen also carry on that legacy, cooking amazing produce to the best, of their capability to maintain and keep these 3-star year after years. And I think that's the strong point of the Waterside Inn. We all are a little bit brand ambassadors, It's not only Chef Alain. I think he puts all of us, Adam Wright, Fabrice, myself, Frederick, the management team are very, very, even Laura, Chef Alain's wife, we are very, very close, all of us together. And we all work in the same vision. We all have the same vision. We all listen to each other. We don't have a CEO who you need to talk to, who doesn't care, who just run the business. The owner is there every day, and it's very rare these days. We don't try to expand too much. So decisions are taken very, very quickly. And then, as you know, Chef Alain is very open to criticism or exchange. So between, I would say, the management team, which are maybe 6-7 of us, throughout the whole operation and the whole different restaurant or things we're doing, I think this is where we, I think, are very strong, because there's no big heads or anyone thinks they're a little bit special, or anyone think they've been here for a long time and they can, everyone listen to everyone. And this is really make work. It's not even work for me, really. It's like walking into a family. Yeah. And I know it sounds, a lot of people say, family first and come join the family and things like this when you walk in big hotels. But apart from the Roux family, I've walked in many places, I think is the only one where you can actually say, yes, you are part of the family. And yes, your voice, people listen, and this is why the business is so strong. And I think this is why today the Waterside is still where it is, because this has been going on for years and years.
Yeah, 100%. And when you mentioned the term family as a business, as a whole, this is something I can vouch for, because when I stepped into the Waterside many years ago, this is one of the first thing I felt. Of course, everyone works very hard, everyone is very driven, everyone is passionate, but this family environment that they create is very important and is definitely present. And I'm glad that you guys are still, you all working together toward the same goal, and everyone is trying their best to achieve that. That's you're right. That is the success to the answer to the success that you guys are having so far. So that's incredible. And
it's about guest experience, guest experience. People come to us, we want them to, live with a really, really special moment.
Yeah. Let's talk about the masterclass. I know you've done a few masterclass videos. So how did you come to that?
That was during COVID time, really. I started to do a lot of online cooking when COVID hit, just to top up a little bit, the monthly income, because we all were wherever. I mean, I was lucky enough. I got some job done, but yeah, well, to keep busy, sane, and I decided to do online cooking classes which were very, very successful. So I was very pleased with that. So my business was generating a good amount of money, and a lot of people were asking me, I did some of the recipes, some of them mainly on Instagram. People would contact me, say, "Oh, how do you make this specific tuile? How do you make this specific jelly? This and that." So then I decided to film 9 episodes of my signature dishes that gained myself a Michelin star back in the days over my career in the different places I worked. And basically, I've produced everything myself with a friend who was studying video making and stuff at the Bath University of Bath. And it was a small project with 2 of us. We ran it, and Komi Rory, who was working with me at the Bath Brewery. So it was a self-made project. Put my own money in there, and then I got published by a platform called Cheflix, where they feature Michelin star chef and their recipe, all different chefs. So then we came to an agreement, and now they are featuring my masterclass. And actually, funny enough, I have another meeting with them this afternoon where they potentially want to do more. So we'll see if they're interested, but that will be completely separate from the one I will be making with Chef at the Waterside. The one from the Waterside Inn masterclass will be available to stream on the Waterside Inn website. And then the other one, we'll see how it goes. But my masterclass at the moment are featured on Cheflix, and I think it's €15 a month or €12 a month, and then you can have access to all the classes on there. And I think definitely there's more and more tools out there for young chefs who want to learn, like if it's Granda app or if it's Cheflix or Masterclass, the actual Masterclass brands. There are things out there that are very inspiring and interesting. Our podcast, like we're doing today, is very, very, very good.
Yeah, it helps people understand a little bit the person that is behind the chef, and that how you got to where you are today, what you've done, and to understand a little bit that no matter which path you're taking, if you're putting your head down, like you say yourself, and if you work hard, anything is possible, really.
No, I would say definitely find the right mentor if you're a young chef and you start in the industry. And then from them, like you said, put your head down and learn the most you can. And we are now in a period where owner and chefs and head chefs more and more aware of mental health and the way people should be treated in kitchen, and the way working hours and everything. I would say compared to our times or even before that. So it's all positive. Yeah, cooking is an amazing job, and we will be, rewarded greatly if you work hard. Invest 10 years, from 20 years old to 30 years old into your own training and into working in different kitchens for 2-3 years average, 2, 3, 4 years average. Learn from the best, and then be your own self after that, and you will be greatly rewarded. But it's like everything else, you will have to invest in your own time and yeah.
But this is the power of this video that you were talking about, all the masterclass, because it gives you and it gives young chef an access to some recipe or some techniques that they may not have unless they go to work in specific restaurants. And we both know that if you work in a restaurant, it's it takes a little bit of time to get through all the sections and to learn all the recipes and all the techniques, and you have to master that techniques and these recipes before you can move to the next stage. When with all these videos and online teaching lessons, you do get access to some incredible techniques that you can just practice at home, and if you don't know something, you can know it. There's a lot of information out there that helps you become better as a chef, and that's what you're helping with.
It's great time now to be a chef, to be a learning chef, because you have so much access. Like back in the days, in our days, when you used to create dishes, to buy books and look at books and picture and write the recipe, which sometimes were not even the right recipe. They wouldn't put the right recipe in the books. The big chefs. So you'll
Yeah.
have to work in that kitchen, give them your life and your time, so you could get a little glimpse of some kind of recipe or anything. But nowadays, if you do that, you work in good places, and on top of this, you get all this exposure to all different sort of videos and tutoring and online things. It's like everything, though. It's like books. Also, you have very good books and good books that are not good. So it's important to know what you're watching and who you're following and things like this, and what's important. But I mean, these days and age is great to be able to be out there working great kitchens with the great, at the end of the day, lifestyle. Also, you can get a great lifestyle balance, and then on top of it, you get all this app and all these master classes where you can learn even more. So I think he looks very positive for the future. All these upcoming chefs in their 20s now, who are passionate, who want to learn. It'd be very good to see what the restaurants worldwide scene will be in 10 years time.
Yeah. Do you feel like the restaurant industry has changed over the past 10, 15 years, or maybe since COVID? Do you feel like there's a difference in what people expect, what people want,
Yeah, I
the
think
frequency on what they go when they go out, or?
I think since COVID, definitely it's changed overall. People had to adapt mainly on our side, on the business side of things. Finding staff is getting very, very tricky. So whatever staff you have, you want to look after them. So a lot of restaurants have to shut 3 days a week. A lot of restaurants have to open only in the evening because they haven't got the staff to be able to cover, and they want people to have a good lifestyle and good balance. So overall, because I think the older restaurant had to change their ways, smaller menu, shorter a la carte, smaller choices and things just to be able to cope. The restaurant scene has changed, and people, I think people, I mean, there's a lot going on, to be honest, between the crisis a little bit, the price rising. It is a difficult time for restaurant in general. Anyway, where I'm from, like where we are here in the UK, is not easy to run a restaurant today. We're lucky we are where I am, right, the position we are. But if you have a lease on the business and you need to, run your business every day and hope that you're going to have a good turnover of customer, it is a tricky year in the UK, I would say. Yeah. This has changed since COVID. After COVID, there was massive explosion. Everyone went out. 2021, 2022, 2023 were great time for the business. And now there's a little bit of a downfall, obviously, afterwards. That's for that business. Why, when it comes to probably people are more and more into eating, they're really more and more careful on what they eat, where it comes from, and things like this. So yeah, this has changed the scene a little bit here in the UK, I would say, or in Europe. The chef had to, try to minimalize wastage and things like this, and try to work as locally as possible. So it's interesting. It brings us it's a bit more challenging for us as chefs to, bring interesting food that is also sustainable. So it's good.
Yeah, I understand. And Michael, on also, as well as working with Alain Roux and all the team at the Waterside, you have a consulting business, right? So can you explain to us a little bit what you do and how do you run this?
Oh yeah, so this is very little. It's just a business I've started obviously during COVID, and I work together with the team in West Africa, in Dakar, Senegal. We have two restaurants there. One's called Kabel Cabano, and one is called Basilic. We just opened that actually 2 months ago. I've just since 2020 been involved with them to develop the menus. to well, my head chef there, Josh. Uh, is not far is not far from Bath, actually, where I live, and through some of my chefs, they knew him. I was looking for a chef to go to West Africa to help and support and launch the new menu in the restaurant there. So he went there and he's there since then. He's been now 4 years. He's in West Africa, so he's running the main restaurant called Le Cabanon. We do 200 cover a day. It's
Wow.
French Mediterranean type cuisine on the seafronts. Beautiful place, nice music, nice vibe. So my job there is to advise them on the different style of food or concept or what promotion we can do and so on. So I work directly with the owner there. And then then we had the second project starting 1 year ago, which was a brand new restaurant, and that we just opened also seafront, but it's much more, is everything on fire. So it's a roast, chicken, grill, everything grilled and roasted, and DJ music and cocktail. This is the concept. So it's great. Also seafront, doing very well, picking up now. Obviously, when you start after 1 month, it takes time, but now the mayonnaise is taking, I would say, and slowly we're building up. But it's great also for me to do things like this because it just take me out of my everyday job with the Rue family and so on. And this is something I do a little bit on the side for myself, mainly just to have a different view, different aspect of creativity, and see the world also and how things work.
So how involved are you with this project? Do you have to go there once a month? Do you go once a quarter, or?
Three times a year, and 2 to 3 times a year, and then I have a weekly catch up with them online. Yeah.
Okay.
And we have an exchange. Normally, I do this on my day off, obviously, in the evening, and then I just catch up with the team there, see how things go, see how the business goes, see if we need to change the menu, and I send some recipe down there, exchange with my head chef there, see what he wants to do. He talks to me about dishes, I talk to him about dishes, and basically we just go from there. And then normally we draft the menu, and then I do try to be there when we launch the new menu, or like when we launch the new restaurant, or when we do some trial or the new menu, so I can taste the food, and together we can improve things or change things around.
So how many days would you have to be there before an opening or before a new menu?
Yeah, no, 4 or 5 days, I would say, because obviously the team is there, my head chef is there. So, we have quite a bit of catch up beforehand when it comes to ordering food and everything. And then when I get there, we get it all ready to go. So 3 to 4 days, 2 3 days prep, and then the last day we open, the fourth day or the third day we open, and then on the fifth I fly back or something like this. So it's mainly work. It's always exciting to launch new things, launch new concepts, and have an idea on paper, and then when you see it realizing it's amazing.
Yeah, the creation behind this, the creativity.
Great feeling.
Yeah.
This new place we just opened, obviously the owner had that vision. He wanted the food to go with that vision, so we worked on the food to go with that vision. We did quite a few tests, especially Josh. And then why I went over this year in May, I think, and then we finalized things. Then I had to go back a little bit to change and tweak things again. And then we finally see the realization, and when it happened and it's open and we do the opening night and you have the customer coming in and they love it, and the food's tasty, the concept, the music is great, the drinks are great. It's amazing. It's actually much more for me lately. I find that this is even better than just gaining a Michelin star or 2 Michelin star or whatever. That's personally now. I think.
Yeah. Perhaps it's because you have achieved that as well. You have achieved a Michelin star. You have worked many years in Michelin star restaurants, so this is something perhaps a little bit different as well.
That's it. Yeah, probably. Yeah, yeah. Even when I give a nice class and everyone's happy and we have a great exchange and we joke and people learn something, and they were really, really worried they won't be able to make. And then when you look at their eyes, when they see they actually manage a nice souffle, for example, or something like this, and they feel like, wow, I've done it. For me, it's a great satisfaction, So it's good. There's so many different ways of this job is open to so many different ways around the industry. The food industry is it's just amazing.
Yeah, there is different avenue as a chef that you can take. That's true. As long as you look for what you want and what you're best at and what you feel like doing, there's a lot of options. If tomorrow someone comes and tell you, Michael, I want to open a restaurant, I want you in the kitchen, would you do it?
I don't think it's. I'm very happy where I am. I couldn't ask for more. I wouldn't today start running a kitchen again. I think this might be my retirement plan. Maybe one day. To be honest, when I'm 60, 65, I have my own little place, maybe like a chef table where I can still cook and open when I want as pleasure. It's not about the money. It's just to please people, cook for them, and be happy. But today, telling me I'm going to open a restaurant and you're going to be running the kitchen, I wouldn't. Which is crazy because 10 years ago, I wouldn't have said that, when I was in there every day, all
But
day.
you're a different man. You're a different man. You're a father now. You have 2 kids, right?
Yeah, that's it, 2 those out there.
One of them that you have delivered yourself. Is that true?
That's right, yeah. And second one, Mila, yes, born in my
Tell
house.
us about that.
I mean, it went very quick. Second one went very quick, so I had to be hands-on, as you do as a chef. Anyway, and quite good to under pressure. Yeah, I called the emergency services. They said they probably won't be what I was telling them on the phone and what they were hearing. They were like, okay, we're probably not going to be there
So
on
your wife
time.
was basically giving birth. You were on the phone saying she's about to give birth, and they were like, we're not going to be there.
Yeah,
basically.
On crimes. It was in my living room, so they just will guide you on the phone basically, and then she was born in my living room, and maybe 5-6 minutes out.
This is giving me chill, Michael. This is an incredible story, because I mean, who gets to do that? Like, this is incredible.
Yeah, and then
I'm sure it was stressful. I'm sure at the time you were not thinking that, but.
And actually, even afterwards, you get the kickback, But in the moment, you just do what you gotta do. Not much, to be honest. You just have to be there, and we take kind of credit, but the
But
mother,
your wife did. Yeah, she did all the work.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, always do.
So that was very interesting, this one. And then they arrived 5 minutes later. So we had that piece. That was great. Just my wife, me, and the baby. That was unique because my first one was born in hospital. So, you're always surrounded by everyone and everything. So that was also a blessing in a way. So it's, life's adventure.
Yeah, one of the many. Michael, what does your wife think about you being a chef? Does she support it? Does she understand it? Does she wish you could be doing something else?
No, I mean, obviously she's from days we met back here when I was at the Waterside Inn, so it's been a while now. Well, she was very, very supportive. I must say, if I've done what I've done, I was able to in my career, and where we are today is because she was very patient and supportive on everything. It gets tricky, 100%, especially when you have new children. There's a lot of pressure on the mother. She's alone. So you need a special character for that, to be alone with 2 children. But also, it's like a responsibility. So, when you take responsibility into being a chef, that's the thing. And you want to achieve what you achieve, but you also have a responsibility as a father, as be present for them as much as you can, obviously, but you still need to do what you need to do to put food on the table. But I must say she really understood that and supported me. And now that I've changed my choice, obviously she's more happy because I'm more present, not only for her, but really for the children, And I actually have a relationship with my two children, which is great. I get to also work, and it's important that children see that to make something in life, you need to work to achieve things. That's 100%. Yeah, she was always the chef. She was always supportive in my choices, which is great, which in a way paid off because we have what we have today also because of that. And, we don't have to worry or things like this. I mean, there's always worried, but I think, I think overall I also achieved what I achieved because she was very supportive, 100%.
Yeah, yeah. What if tomorrow one of your kid, turns 14, 15 and tells you, Dad, I want to be a chef? What do you say?
Well, I would be, mixed feeling really. I think like my dad, when I was 15, 16, I would have mixed feeling because it's a tough job, tough industry. It brings a lot of positive, but you have a lot of sacrifice. And to be honest, in my 20s, that, I've never been to watch a football match, still ever. I've never been to a concert ever. There's things you just don't do as normal people do because you always work on the weekends, you always work on Easter holidays, you always work when people are. So as an individual, you don't really care in a way. So as me, I was like, yeah, fine. I'm just working, working, working. It doesn't matter. But when you become a dad and you see it differently, So, I mean, not everyone, but it's how I felt then. I felt like, okay, maybe I should be more present with them when things like this happen because they're only small for a while. So
Yeah.
it's important for them that you are present at the end of the day. So if one of them want to be a chef, I don't think I'd be. I mean, I'll obviously respect what their choice is, and I'll advise them and I'll tell them, and obviously they'll get work experience with me. I'll make sure it's as hard as possible so they decide to stop. But no, but I'm joking. But I'll help if this is what they want. Obviously, I'll help them the best I can then. But we'll have a serious conversation about it because it's not just about the first 10 years, it's a lifestyle then. And it's got to be a lifestyle, not just a job. If you want to make it right and if you want to succeed, they need to understand it's a lifestyle, it's not just a job. Yeah.
Yeah. What's you mentioning success, and what's the one thing you could tell the young Michael 20 years ago or 15 years ago, if you could just share one advice to tell yourself?
Yeah, I would tell myself don't rush into things too much, take your time and take most enjoy the moment, Sometimes we just in that moment, we already want to be the other moment. We want to be further than this. We want to have 1-star Michelin when you're 28. You want to be a sous chef when you whatever. And sometime maybe you're not ready, sometime maybe I would tell myself, look, step back a little bit, take your time, enjoy the moment, enjoy the cooking. I would say sometimes to young Michael, hey, you know what, just go out this time with your friend and have fun. And don't go to bed straight away after service because you have a big one tomorrow and you have to show the example and you have to be, 100% as much as possible all the time. I mean, that was my mentality back then, and this is probably why I achieved very, very quickly. But I did miss on a lot of things that I can't get back at the end of the day today, which is good because, okay, in a way, it's good because I achieved what I achieved, but in a way, these days are gone and you can't get them back. So I would say myself or any young chef, especially the new generation, a lot of people want a lot of things very, very quickly and, take a little bit longer, take more time, stay a little, one more year, settle a bit longer, learn the extra thing you could have learned. And you would become also a stronger chef. I think it's a little bit like you see these professional athletes when they start very young, they're 12, 13, 14, and when they get to an age, they get burnt out very, very quickly, Not all of them, but a lot of them. So I think it's good to enjoy your youth when you can. Okay, I'm not that old, but in the 20s, you know, obviously you have to sacrifice for your career, but you also have to think sometimes you have to do you and spend time with your family, your parents or friends, and go to concert, go to a football match, or do something else you like. Because it's something I learned also. Because you get, as a chef, you get into this spiral, or as a professional where you put a lot of time into thing, where you get into the spiral thinking you are that thing, like you are a chef or you are a tennis player or you are a Formula One driver or whatever. But you're actually first Michael, you're first a human being, you know?
Yeah.
And you and and this is something my wife helped me to understand also, is that before being a chef, you are also somebody. You are the
Yeah.
child of somebody. So this is
Yes.
important to remember that.
Yes. Yeah. And and you work hard, and everyone works hard, and you know you try to achieve goals, and but yeah, it's important to not forget that you're not just that, and that you have
That
a life outside.
that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah, that's not
Yeah.
everything, you know, because one
Yeah.
day it'll be your last day, and then you'll
Yeah.
look back and think, what did I
Yeah.
actually do about cooking? You know, far from
Yeah.
cooking. You know?
Yeah. Absolutely. But I think this comes with age as well, with
Yeah.
building a family and seeing your kids growing up, and raising your kids. This is something that makes you stop and think a little bit, I think.
Yeah, 100%.
And Michael, so you I mentioned earlier that you are an overachiever. You feel like you have something to prove, or do you feel like you have a chip on your shoulder, or what drives the motivation behind all of this?
Oh, well, no, to be honest, I think just like to do things the best way I can. Uh, if I say I was going to do something, wherever it is, I'm always going to try to do it the best way I can to the last little thing, just to, I think it's a state of mind, you know, just to make sure I've tried everything, so I can't look back and say, oh, I could have done this, uh, and I didn't, and I knew I could, but I didn't. I think the fact that I always, whenever I take a decision that I'm gonna make, even a class or something, if it's a new class, I'm going to make sure I do the recipe beforehand. I'm gonna try everything just to make sure it's 100% and I can be confident on that day. And same when I was running a restaurant, it was always, okay, what can we do more? How can we be more ready? What can be done to make sure, you know, we're on top of our game? And it was always like this, basically, which also, like I say, require a lot of sacrifice at the time then, because, yeah, I could go home at 5 p.m. and then I leave the team, run the pass or whatever in the evening, but I knew maybe it wouldn't be 100% all I wanted. So I was there present for that. And I don't think it was yeah, I want to prove something to myself. I think I just wanted things to be done in a certain way, to a specific standard. And I like to push myself towards this. You know, I did a lot of rowing in my young time, from 12-year-old to 16 roughly, just before I start working in the kitchen, obviously, for 4 years. And that was everything. When I was training to the best I could, the most I could, whatever my coach was telling me to do, I would do it to the 110%. And also I did the Belgian championship and the European selection and things because of that. And I think it's a state of mind. And if you, as whatever you do, in a state of mind, even when it comes to doing master classes, filming, you know, we had a small budget, but I wanted the best project, so I got the best project. I wanted to take my time to show things. You know, you can always cut corners. You can always, like when I do even small video editing for some app or anything, you can always edit, but you can always force yourself to do a little bit better. And as much, every time you force yourself to make a little bit better, you give this little extra that makes you better, and then your skills get better, and this is how you grow. and you achieve. That's what I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely true. And do you still row? Do you still have time to practice
But
rowing?
now, unfortunately, now I'm actually starting to think about it. It would be good to go back on the water just to switch up. Really, would be good. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's important, and then only you sometimes can schedule this into your calendar if you
Yeah,
have the time.
exactly. Exactly. But obviously, as you know, we have a family to support and you have children, you want the best for the kids. So when there's things that I can be doing just to make our life a little bit easier and if it's work wise or anything, at the end of the day, I'm going to prioritize this. Um, but yeah, it's important to also get time to yourself. Yeah, definitely. And I can feel now it's starting to, tickle me a little bit where I'm like, okay, yeah, I would like to take an hour, just go on the water and row for an hour, switch off, do something for me
Yeah.
or my pen. But yeah, I mean, it's starting to be in my head, so I
Exactly.
will,
Like you said, once it's in your head,
it's getting, it'll happen,
yeah.
it should happen. Yeah, yeah, 100%, 100%.
All right. Michael, if you are not a chef, what do you think you would do? If for any reason you didn't start as a chef, is there anything that you ever thought you could become or you could do
Well,
as a profession?
I was very focused into rowing back then, and then at some point I had to choose because of my height and my physical, whatever. I wasn't strong enough or whatever to do some very, very high levels rowing. So that would have been a career I would have liked potentially. And then I really like, vintage cars and racing and karting. So I'm a little bit of a petrol head, to be honest. So I would probably be doing something into cars. But again, if I would do something into cars, I would be like, I'll try to be in one of the top cars or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that could be another retirement plan, but we'll see. We have
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, you're gonna be busy, yeah?
Sure, I think
Between running
yeah,
the restaurant and rowing and dealing with cars and
that's the rest.
but
Yeah.
hey, once you're busy, I suppose this is it's not just an instant. It's a lifestyle, I suppose, to keep moving, keep doing things, and keep learning.
100%. Keeps you healthy also.
Yeah. Michael, you mentioned that when I did this pre-interview check or questionnaire, you said that you always have a pot on the fire. What does that mean?
There's always something cooking in my life. I always have something. If it's not something going on in West Africa or for chef, chef keeps me very busy anyway. But yeah, I always like to, like now chef leagues, they might want to do another masterclass on the side, or we're working on the masterclass project. There's always something going on. Definitely, definitely. I always try to be. Oh, I have people approaching me, for ID, for requests, for recipe ID, for dishes, even feedback, texting me for feedback or things like this that I really openly give. Or if I take the time, I try to always take the time for people when they were young chef or anyone who wants advice and things like this. So there's always something cooking, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much,
I,
Michael.
I really struggle to just sit down and do nothing, and
It's
and
an art,
watch.
and it comes from being a chef. I think you have not been trained to sit down and relax. You've been trained to be always on alert and on be reactive and be ready and deliver every
That's
time.
it.
So it's something you have to relearn, I think.
Yeah,
Michael,
maybe.
before
Yeah, go on, go on.
yeah, sorry, I was saying before I let you go, you get to eat anywhere in the world for an hour. Where do you go, and who do you take with? It can be past or present, anyone in the world. Doesn't matter about how to get there. You're just gonna get there. Who
Yeah,
do you choose?
I'll take my wife and we'll go to Masquerade Napa Valley. I would like to go to the French Laundry.
Have you
It's
tried?
kind of, it's a
No, you
French,
haven't.
I've never been though, and it's been on my. I've met Thomas Keller not long ago. He was the main judge for the Roux Scholarship. He's such an inspiring character, and I think it's also one of them, like the Waterside Inn that you have to experience. And like Paul
Yeah.
Bocuse, Waterside Inn is built so much in California and in the culinary world in the United States. Thomas Keller. So I think it's one go-to. Yeah.
And I think one thing that helps him become this as well, this figure as a chef, is the book as well, the French Laundry Cookbook, because all the stories in the book are very very interesting and very they reflect the mentality of the kitchen and of the chef to take care of the staff, take care of the produce, take care of everything, and
it's really it's not like just writing a book just to write like a lot of people do sometimes. I met him. He's generally a nice guy, generally look after his people, look after the customer. He's really in the kind of mentality I really like. So this will definitely be on my, if I didn't have to pay for nothing, like you say, and go somewhere, because it's somewhere you go for the experience. So you'll have to go enjoy the wine around the Napa Valley, obviously, and live the whole history, You just don't go there, eat in the restaurant, fly there, eat in the restaurant, fly back. It's got to be an experience. So I would definitely experience that. I'm a bit more of liking when there's a history behind restaurant, more than just something that just opened. Obviously, the chef is doing amazing and so on, but when there is a history behind and there's a legacy behind it, like with us, and you can share and you can feel that when you're there, I think as a chef, you achieve a lot when you can share that and people feel when they come to your restaurant.
Yeah, the experience is, I think, the key word of this conversation, because no matter if it's the experience that you get at the Waterside Inn when you go to the cookery class, or when you eat at the table for lunch on a Sunday, or if you go to Thomas Keller for dinner with your wife, I think the experience is all that matters. The thing we remember. It's not just about one thing. It's many things together.
Yeah, 100%. That's what makes these places unique, really. Yeah. And people look more and more for that, by the way, if we finish on this. People look for experience these days. Not just about just eating nice food, especially when you charge the prices, we charge or Thomas Keller charge or whatever. The experience is everything, because people more and more who can afford places like us, they can afford anything. So they just want something else. They want to feel something different. And that's experience at every level, even if you do something small, if you have a small shop, or if you customer service, the experience, that's what makes you different. And unfortunately, we lose this more and more. You go into a shop, no one's talking to you. You can buy everything online these days. You buy good, you don't buy it. No one cares really. I think we lose more and more this sharing and
this hospitality.
In
the sense of the term, really the real sense, which is welcoming people and being helpful and being friendly, because we're losing the contact with people a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. That's sad. Yeah, it's so nice though when you can exchange and you have a nice contact, and when there's this sense of generosity, hospitality. You pay a lot of money or whatever, but then you just remember it forever because it's the whole experience.
Yeah. Michael, thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Where can people find you? Are you on Twitter, on Instagram, online?
I think Instagram is or LinkedIn for professionals. I'm quite active, not active, but I'm quite there on LinkedIn and Instagram. 100%. So any question, anything, I'm there on Instagram.
All right, I'll put your handle on the footnote, and everyone can find out where to find you, where to
Thank
reach
you
out
very much.
Cheers, Michael.
Thanks, Chris. Bye-bye.
Ciao.